And good morning, everyone. It is Friday, and we have some nice weather to tell you about. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to This Day. Our show today, we're going to start off with Carl Randazzo. He is on the United board, and he's going to primarily talk about fencing. He's part of United's M&C committee, and we're going to talk about the progress of the Shepherd's Crook fencing. Also from the El Toro Water District, Catherine Freshley is here today. And this time around, the talk is going to be about the Orange County Metropolitan Water District. We often hear about the El Toro District as well, or the LA, the big Metropolitan Water District, but this time we're going to talk about the local district. Also, Shari Langer is here today from HICAP, and she is going to talk about changes to Medicare and the different options that are available. And we're going to give you a couple dates that HICAP will be having some forums out there where you can go to and ask questions. They're a nonprofit service. They help you out just kind of wading through all the changes without giving you any specific company or anything like that to go to. They're not involved with that, but a good source of information. And we're going to bring you a segment from Sterling Financial Advisors. There are no meetings today, and as I told you, coming up next week, I think in total there's maybe 4 meetings because of Halloween, and so I think that's about it next week. But we'll get to next week. It's like 1, 2, 3 meetings next week. So that's about it. All right, let's talk about the weather now. And again, in the forecast so far, we haven't had any of that offshore wind. It is still in the forecast. It's kind of lessened, but they're still expecting it now maybe this afternoon and into this evening. Originally supposed to be overnight, meaning Thursday into Friday, but at least here in Orange County and really around Southern California, it just has not happened. So that's good news. But we're looking at about 85 today, 83 tomorrow, and then we're going to just start to go down, which is nice. A little bit of fog in the morning on Sunday, and then thicker marine layer and possibly partly cloudy mornings at least in Monday and Tuesday and beyond. As we go into next week, as a matter of fact, we are going to stay right in that mid to upper 70s mode. It looks like all through next week, which is great. Good Halloween weather, right? That's what you want. Hopefully a little fog comes in. Halloween evening, it's perfect. That's what I like. Let's look around our state this weekend, and very similar to what we had last weekend, where we had fairly nice weather, cooler on Sundays throughout the state, and really very nice. Look it up in Tahoe and Yosemite. Beautiful. I usually give you the average when you look at Tahoe and Yosemite, the average of today, Saturday, and Sunday. So meaning today and tomorrow, if you go anywhere, really anywhere throughout the state, it will be slightly warmer than what I have. And if you go on somewhere on Sunday, it'll be slightly cooler. So I give you the average of these 3 days put together, and just beautiful wherever you're going to go in the state this weekend. Even up in the North Coast, up in Eureka area, they're going to be in the mid 60s, and they could possibly get a little rain coming in way up there on Sunday, but that's not going to be much at all. So beautiful weekend everywhere. All right, we'll be back in just. Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Low payments? Yes, we can. Low financing for all types of credit? Yes, we can. Capistrano Toyota features 10 acres of new and certified pre-owned Toyotas, plus many used cars priced below $10,000. When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Exit the 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano.
If you have Medicare, you got to get Alignment Health Plan's Black Card. It's a member-only benefit, unlike anything I've ever seen, giving you access to one-on-one health support any time of day or night. Need to schedule an appointment or need it right there? They'll take care of it. Now you can talk to a doctor 24 hours a day. Call them and get a card of your own, and all the benefits you deserve, too.
This is how we burger, brew, and cue. Pick a town. Arrive hungry, real hungry. Start with a massive burger. Charred, juicy. Add bacon, a buttery bun, piled high. Serve it up, wash it down. Creamy, hoppy, fruity, malty. We're not done yet. Q time, deep fried, sauce soaked, pork ribs, meaty, tender. I'm full. Where to next?
All new Burgers, Brew, and Q. Tuesday at 9. Cooking Channel. Stay fired up.
Welcome back. Well, just a couple days ago, United had their M&C committee meeting, and today we have the chairperson of that committee, Carl Randazzo. Good to see you, Carl. As always, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk about several different things, and one of the topics we'll get to is the fencing.
Correct. And the thing right now is we had our initial M&C committee meeting with the new directors that were just recently elected. So there's 5 of us on that particular committee, and 3 of us are returning. 2 of them were termed out, so they're no longer on the board and on the committee. Okay. So we have 2 new members as a result of that.
All right.
And so as a result of that, I was also, since I was had longevity on that committee, I was assigned to be the chair of that committee. And we kicked off the meeting with me coming up with some ground rules that I would expect to happen during this particular year with the M&C committee. It's a very important committee because M&C has a large portion of the budget for all of the work that's being done around here. So this is my first time chairing a committee, but not my first time involved in maintenance and construction, because that's my background when I was working for a living. And because I have an engineering, construction, and management background. One of the things that we normally talk at this committee meetings is the project log. And this project log is an 11 by 17 sheet, which was issued by Ernesto, who's the M&C committee manager, the M&C manager for VMS. And he publishes this, and it provides a list of most of the programs and projects that are being conducted within United. He has one for each of the specific mutuals and GRF. So that provides a lot of detail as to what's going on within that, so that we get to review that as the M&C committee. So I'll go over a couple of the items that we went through during this meeting. Waistline remediation is an issue at this particular point in time, as everyone knows. We continue to apply epoxy linings to the insides of the waistlines to mitigate leaks that are occurring due to corrosion and root intrusion. The corrosion is happening within the whole pipe itself, and the root intrusion obviously is the section of pipe outside of the buildings from the trees. And obviously, due to age, these pipes are 50 plus years old. So we have completed 110 buildings, with 10 more to be completed by the end of this year. The other thing that's been a topic is pushmatic panel replacement. These pushmatic breakers are types that you push in and push in, and they'll turn them, and they'll engage, push again, okay, and they'll disengage. And these type of breakers were installed in housing and various different buildings back in the 60s. And they found them to be very good at the time, but in time they're finding out that little springs and stuff in there were not working as well, and as a result of that, they were failing. So We haven't many failures in the community, okay, but we've had some that have not been all that up to par. So we've decided that we were going to start a program to take out the pushmatic panels and go with these regular toggle type electrical breakers. And so that's a program that's going on right now. And in this particular year, we have addressed 244 of those panels with more to go in time.
Okay.
And then part of the other problems that we have in the M&C is the fact that due to age, again, building structures, foundation, and common walls start developing cracks, settlement of these particular things. And as a result of that, most houses do settle and most buildings do settle, but in time you possibly have to do something about it, and these things have aged to 50 or 60 years again. So we have to address that also. And it's an ongoing program where we see problems, we fix them. So that's
Right.
part of the whole process. And then we have the fencing issue. And as we know, fencing has been an issue within the community. There's been, especially in 3rd along Ridge Route, okay, but we don't, that's not our territory. There's a wall, and then there's barbed wire along the top of the wall, and the city has asked us to replace some of that barbed wire, and we have to replace 300 feet of it per year. But we've been doing a lot. We're going to be doing a lot better than that. We have a program that goes up to 2031. This program.
Wow.
And right now, if we have a copy
Yeah,
of
we'll
that
bring up the
fencing,
map for you.
right now, we're going to be doing about 1,400 feet of this fencing per year, whereby we have to clear the area around the walls, then take the barbed wire off, and then install this shepherd's crooks at the top of the walls to first off make it look a little bit better, and secondly the fact that the barbed wire in time just rusts and corrodes away. So we're trying to make that better. And right now, if you see on that map, there's 2 areas along Calle Aragon and Avenida Carmel at the intersection where El Toro and Moulton, right behind the little area there, that's the little shopping center where Aldi's is. That basically that area there, and you'll see it on there, it specifically states 2018, and when you see 2018, that's the fence, that's the section that we're going to be replacing this year.
Okay.
And that is started. And if you notice the red circles, it says 1, 2, and then 3.
Right.
Those are the security priorities, if you look at that in the bottom.
Okay.
So security priority 1 was that area around Moulton and Calle Avenida Carmel. Then, and then there's priority 2, and priority 3 is there along Moulton behind, I guess, the church maybe, and what have you. So in any case, that is something that's ongoing also as part of this committee. And then the other thing we discussed was fire avert devices. These are devices that are being used in other places. We're going to possibly do a pilot program to address whether or not they may be worthwhile for us. They work off these smoke alarms, and there's 2 different methods. First off, if it's a device that you install under the stove where it connects into the electrical wiring. And what it does is, in one device, if the smoke alarm goes off, the sound will trigger this to allow the little breaker inside of that device to disengage, and it'll turn the stove off.
Okay.
And that will make sure that if there is some sort of smoke or fire as a result of the stove, okay, you're not just adding insult to injury by adding some more heat.
Yeah.
So it'll turn the stove off. And the second one is a device whereby there's a little relay within the smoke detector that automatically pops the breaker on the panel.
Okay.
And those are 2 that we're looking at right now as possibly something that we can use here in the village. And then last but not least, okay, we talked about a lot of things, but these are one of the highlight topics, is the fact that a spiced berry color paint. It seems that, and to me, spiced berry is red. They can call it what they want to call it, okay, but spiceberry is red to me. And that's what it is. It looks like a red. It looks red. And that particular spiceberry was a color that was available for people to use for their doors in the United.
Okay.
And now we are going to be, it was taken off of the palette when they changed out the palette a couple of years ago. And then a lot of people recently, within the last year or so, have asked that spiceberry or that red color be used for their doors. And we've had to make it a change whereby we have to get board approval and what have you. That's getting to be a hassle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of ridiculous, okay, for a door. And then we're getting so many people that want the red, and we went back and we discussed it, and we said, you know, there's no reason why they can't have red, and we can add that to the paint palette.
Yeah.
So we added it back to the paint palette, and now you'll have to go to the architectural controls to just let them know that you're going to be doing it. There's a process that's being used, and I'm not going to go into the process right now. But it is now a color that's available that you can use, and it's called spiceberry, aka red. Okay. And
all right,
that's what we did at the M&C committee this week.
Okay, very good.
Any questions or anything?
No, I think you about covered it. And you know, the one thing I do want to ask about the fencing is that's a 12-year plan.
That's a 12-year plan.
Now, is there any thought about speeding that up?
There is some thought about speeding that up, but it has to do with money.
Okay.
You know, and the thing right now is we have to decide whether or not we want to put in more than 1,400 feet of fencing, or we want to do something else in the community, okay? Because we want to also make sure that we don't increase the assessments that much also. So it's budgets. It has to, everything has to do with money.
Because I would imagine 1,400 feet of fencing 8 years from now is going to cost a lot more than it does now.
Most probably.
Yeah.
But there has been talk at the committee meeting. We talked about the fact that possibly speeding that up. Like the waistline remediation. We are speeding up the waistline remediation because of the fact that we're getting more water intrusion into the units, and we're paying money to as a result of the water intrusion to fix the results of that water intrusion problem. Okay, so why don't we put the money into actually getting the pipes fixed first? Okay, address the problem and not the symptom of it. So. Yes, we are thinking about possibly speeding that up, but right now the program goes to 2031.
All right, very good. Carl, always good to see you. Thank you very much for coming on, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Many people keep the same Medicare health plan for years without questioning whether it's still the right plan. It's always beneficial to review your plan, and now is your chance. The Medicare annual election period, October 15th through December 7th, is the one time a year you can sign up, change, or disenroll from a Medicare health plan. Call me for a free consultation or come meet me every Wednesday during the enrollment period at the Regency Laguna Woods to find the plan that's right for you.
As a professional licensed realtor, you have worked countless hours to ensure your reputation is the best. Your clients know they can trust your judgment, that you'll be around when they need you, and that you will deliver what you promise. In escrow, one company has set that same standard for excellence. Escrow Options Group offers more than just outstanding escrow services. White glove concierge services, wire and fraud protection, custom estimates, and more at no extra charge. Choose the company that mirrors your professionalism. Escrow Options Group. Experience a better option of escrow services.
It takes a team effort to provide compassionate care. At Health Plus Medical Supply and El Toro Pharmacy, your personal attention is our top priority. We have everything you need, including stair lifts, rollators, knee walkers, wheelchairs, power wheelchairs, scooters, and car lifts. And we provide all maintenance and installation. Health Plus is located inside El Toro Pharmacy, where we provide the same compassion for your pharmacy and drugstore needs. Located in Moulton Plaza.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru. More Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
Welcome back. I have Sherry Langer on here today, and she is with HICAP, which is a part of the Council on Aging program. And it's always great to have them here this time of the year, because what they do is they have unbiased help with you trying to wade through Medicare. And welcome again.
Nice
and
to
you
see
might
you
have
again.
seen Sherry lately. She is on our recent Social Security program. We're talking about kind of the same thing, just in case you folks haven't seen that. So this is something that HICAP does, and what's really nice here is you're not there to recommend any company or service or insurance program. You're showing people, here is what out there, here are options, and depending on what you may need, this may work for you, right?
Exactly. We are unbiased in that we don't endorse a particular plan. We don't sell any of the health plans, Medicare health plans that are out there. And we are here to just provide an educational resource for people. And right now it's open enrollment, and so we have clinics, and we have some in the area here, and that's what we wanted to make sure people in Laguna Woods are aware of. Yeah,
and so the first one, we kind of just went over what you folks do, and it's a great service, and it doesn't cost anything. Am I right?
Does not cost anything, and we have counselors. Orange County we have quite a developed HICAP program. It's HICAP across the country. We're part of the federal SHIP provider, and that is, every state has to have someone that gives free, unbiased counseling on Medicare. They're not selling something. And so we're the Orange County provider, our HICAP program. We have about 70 volunteer counselors that are available. We have to be registered with the state to be able to provide the information, and we do a lot of one-on-one counseling. We have counselors that come here to the Laguna Woods weekly.
You do.
And to provide a free service, an appointment for people to sit down and talk through questions, or if they have appeal problems. But during annual enrollment, we really encourage people to do an annual review of their plan and make sure there's not changes that will affect their bottom line.
Right, and you mentioned that in the next slide, how important this is. And the reason it is, things change every year.
Things change.
Maybe the formula of the drugs you take, or the costs, or maybe you're on an Advantage program that something that you like to dropped off, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, a provider could have changed.
Yeah, so that's important. Now, the next slide, this is what I want to ask you about, or something that was asked. Actually, it was my father-in-law who asked me to ask you. Here we see what you can do as far as changes, and let's talk about going from what people might say called straight Medicare, meaning not Advantage. You're getting your Part D, and you have the Part F.
If that's a supplemental plan.
That's a supplemental.
A Medigap.
Medigap, and a lot of people do have that.
If they're on original, we call it original Medicare.
Original.
Straight Medicare.
So,
it's called different things.
Can you go back and forth between the two? Let's say you hit that age, which 65, whatever it is, and you start off with original Medicare, and you have the Part D and the Part F and things like that. Now, can you go over to Advantage program the next year or 5 years later, and then decide, no, I want to go back to original Medicare?
Yes, you can make the changes from one, we call them pathways. So you have the pathway of original Medicare, or you have a pathway of a Medicare Advantage plan, one of the network plans.
Right.
And you can make the changes. The problem is, usually when you make a pathway change, I really encourage people to talk to a counselor, because there can be some questions that you need to think carefully about.
Right.
And one of which is that when you first go on Medicare, you have a guaranteed issue of being able to buy one of those supplemental plans.
And that's what he was asking about.
And then, so if down the road, or let's say you're on a Medicare Advantage plan and you're going, I want to go on original Medicare, that is, you can make that change, but that doesn't mean the same guaranteed issue travels with you with that Medigap, that supplemental plan.
Right.
So after that initial period when you have gone on Medicare and you have that at 65, you have that guaranteed issue, let's say 5 years down the road you want to make the change, you will be subject to, generally speaking, you will be subject to whatever medical underwriting that that company that is providing that plan has.
Right.
And so that's where people need to be aware of all the different aspects that could affect whether or not they'd get that. Get that plan, maybe they get the plan, but it would cost more than it did originally.
And that's exactly what he was asking, because I wasn't aware of that. I just said, yeah, I know you can go back and forth, but he was going, well, you know,
there can be different rules.
If you're on
with
plan
the correct.
If you go back to it, you may still be able to get that, but the cost could be a lot higher.
There could be differences than you had originally. Yeah, and that's helpful.
All right. Now, we are in annual enrollment, and one of the nice things that you folks do is you have clinics around the area.
We do.
And these are really great because, again, you just saw, Sherry just answered a question that is very pertinent. And people are going to have that question because some people may say, well, do I want to go on an Advantage program? Maybe deductibles are higher, or maybe it only covers so much of hospital costs or whatever it might be. You know, there's that fear of just what we talked about, going back
What
and
are
forth.
the questions that you're not even asking?
Yeah,
and that's what our counselors are trained to be thinking and have been working with people to be able to help them think through their options. And during our annual enrollment clinics, what we will be able to do for people is that we encourage people just to come on in and bring whatever plan they might be on. We can plug it into the Medicare.gov, has a search engine that looks at, compares plans. And what we can do is look at a particular plan and get an estimated cost, let's see, whatever their plan is for the coming year, for 2019. And then you can see if, there's some changes going on. Hopefully everybody has received by now their annual, we call it an ANOC, annual notice of change. So the company of the plan has to indicate to people that are beneficiaries what changes are happening, because they might drop a drug or change a tier level.
The thing is, it could be in a booklet, 100 pages thick. And most people, it's hard to wade through that for anyone.
It is. It is hard. And so our counselors at our clinics can take a look at what their plan is, estimated costs for the next year, but compare it to some of the other plans that are out there and see what their estimated costs are. And so they can just get an idea. Maybe you have the best plan possible, but that gives you a peace of mind. Otherwise, you might go, there's some changes here in the drug formularies, and maybe there's a different drug plan that might cover all my needs, my health needs and my prescription drugs, but may cost me a little less.
Now let's talk about some Medicare costs with the two Medicare programs. And, again, between original Medicare and maybe Advantage. An Advantage program, you may not be paying personally out of pocket any kind of premiums per month, where original Medicare you do. Am I right?
Well, everybody will pay, the Part B premium is everyone will pay. Regardless if you're on original Medicare or Medicare Advantage plan. So everyone pays that. And then your Medicare Advantage plan may or may not have a premium. Last year, about half of them had a monthly premium, the other half didn't.
But you still pay the B, and that comes out of...
You still pay the B. If you're on Social Security, receiving that, it automatically comes out. If you're not yet on, but you're on Medicare, you can, they will quarterly bill you, so.
So that means if somebody is still working full-time, but have chosen to go on Medicare rather than companies...
Correct.
They will...
They will be billed,
They'll be billed. Now if somebody is still working, do they have to go on Medicare? Or is that up to the company to say, hey, we want you off our plan now?
We encourage people to talk to the benefit administrator of their company and their plan, partly because there's some different rules that apply. If it's a small company, that company will probably be requiring them to go on Medicare, because if it's like under 20 employees, then Medicare is primary.
Okay.
But in a lot of cases, people that are from bigger company plans, they will have the option to go on A, or a lot of people will go on A and delay B because you have to pay your premium for B, but A, for most people, it's free because they've been paying into the FICA tax.
Okay.
And so we encourage people to talk to the benefit administrator, because there's a few rules that can apply, like if you're on a health savings account and you're continuing to work and contributing to a health savings account, there are some rules that apply with Medicare. And the benefit administrator should know those, or they could call our office, because we have counselors, I mentioned at the beginning, but we also have a call center that's available Monday through Friday, and people can just call and say, hey, this is my situation. Can you talk through any of the things that I should be aware of?
So does that mean you can go on A without going on B?
Yes, what you can do, many people that are continuing to work and on a group health plan, employer's group health plan, they will go on A, and so they will just sign up for A and delay Part B until they're no longer covered by that employer's group health plan. And then they'll have a special enrollment period of a period of time to be able to sign up for B.
So B is the drug part of it?
B is your, Part A is your hospitalization. B is your, think outpatient. It's your medical expenses, like your doctor's appointment, durable medical equipment, things of that nature. D is your drug plan.
Okay, all right, D for drug. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, people who want to come to an appointment with you folks, we're going to show a list of things they need to bring.
Yes, we would encourage them to bring their Medicare card, and then if they're on a Medicare Advantage plan or a particular standalone drug plan, to bring those cards along. And then we need an accurate list of their drugs. And they can bring in the drugs in a bag if they'd like, but if they bring a list, we need to know the correct spelling of the drug, but also the dosage and the frequency, because that's what we plug into our search engine and get a good estimate for the next year.
Okay. All right. Now, the appointments, we're going to have an information about this, but you are having a couple forums, if you want to call them that, coming up that people can go to, and that will be October 30th, November 9th,
Tuesday,
and November 28th. Yeah. So the October 30th is the one at the City Hall.
Yes, the one coming up next week is at City Hall, and then the next one coming up on November 9th is at the Clubhouse 3.
Okay, and then in the Florence Sylvester
and then
at the end of November.
at the end, if they need that time frame.
Yes. So we're going to give you the numbers, though, that people can call for a specific appointment, right?
Yes, and they can, the numbers are on that last slide, but social services here at Laguna Woods is doing the sign-ups for us, and we are very grateful for that.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, I'm grateful for you to come on. You can see how confusing it can be, and you know, they don't make it easy, but HICAP and the people who help you will help you wade through it a lot easier and get you at least pointed in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if people have questions, we are now getting all the information about the changes for 2019, the rate increases, things like that. People can give our office a call if they have some questions about some of that, or sign up for one of our clinics and come in and get an estimate and then find out any other questions they might have.
Okay, yeah, these companies wait to the last minute. It would be nice if they were required to have this in August and give people 2 months to really
They're
research.
supposed to have it done by September 30th now. That's the rule.
Yeah, doesn't give people a lot of time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll be right back.
If you truly want to make a difference, there's no better way than a career in California water, a dynamic, essential industry at a critical turning point.
Water is absolutely the most crucial thing hitting our Central Valley and our state.
It's work that's so essential that people want to stick with it if they're in it.
It will be life-changing, not only for yourself, but for generations to come.
Through times of drought, aging infrastructure, and a growing population, the water leaders of tomorrow will seek innovative solutions to unprecedented challenges, helping protect California's most vital resource.
We have to broaden our network so that we can bring all the bright minds together to solve a problem that has to be solved.
It's a valuable resource. We need to protect it, and we always need people to do that.
The water business isn't just about delivering water, moving it from point A to point B. A new wave of opportunities are emerging, from working in the field to a water quality lab, shaping policy in a boardroom to customer service and human resources, tackling complex regulations, or leveraging technology for critical improvements in water efficiency and sustainability.
It's not just building pipes and pump stations anymore.
We need engineers, we need those in the hard sciences, we need those in the soft sciences, people that understand law, understand public policy.
You need the accountants, you need the rate setters.
We need all types and all hands on deck.
There's nothing more central to California's future than carrying on the water industry's mission.
It's a tremendous responsibility we have in delivering that water resource that you can't live without.
If you really want to make an impact, then this is where you're going to have the most impact.
In California Water, you'll find a vast array of long-term, well-paying careers with numerous opportunities to grow and make your mark, and new initiatives welcoming the next generation.
It makes me feel like I can make a real big difference.
If you think that this industry is a non-changing industry, that's exactly the reason why you have to get involved. That's why you have to come in to affect that change.
It's only going to become more important as years go on, too.
Why not be that person to take the water industry to the next level?
We're going to have to be more innovative, we're going to have to collaborate more, and we'll need a new generation to help us do that.
The impact that your service will bring to public service and to water in general will last for generations to come.
Welcome back. With me right now is Catherine Freshley. She is currently on the board of the El Toro Water District. And today, Catherine, you're going to talk about, well, how the water gets from one point to your faucet. And you've got the El Toro Water District, you've got the Metropolitan District of Orange County, then you have the big Metropolitan Water District
of Southern California. Right. Well, one of the things I'm trying that I wanted to highlight today is, as I mentioned to Ken earlier, is that so often, you know, when it comes to water, it comes to any utility. You turn on the switch and you expect it to be there.
Yeah.
Okay? Whether it's water, whether it's electricity, or whatever. But there's a lot of things that have to happen behind the scenes to ensure that that occurs. Right. And so what we're doing currently, what's happening in Orange County is we're in the process of analyzing and determining and trying to lay plans going forward to ensure that we have a reliability of supply.
Okay.
You know, which is absolutely critical for all of us.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
And we're going to, in the first slide, we're going to show us the 3 study areas. So tell me about this.
Yeah, if you go to slide 2, okay, the reliability that we're going to have within the county varies. Only because, you know, under Orange County there is an aquifer. If you take to the north of the blue area, you see it right at the top of the screen, okay, which is Brea and La Habra. See, they have 90% of their water is available locally.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, from the aquifer that is up in the LA area or under them. Okay. Then the central area, which is kind of a brown, which is most of a good part of Orange County, the historical part of Orange County.
Yeah.
You know, under there it's a big aquifer. You know, that's an alluvial plain. Most people haven't really realized what that is, where the water comes down out of the mountains and goes toward the ocean, and it forms a plain. And under it is an enormous aquifer. And so about 75% of that area gets their water locally. And in fact, that's one of the big projects that the Orange County Water District has with their, Fountain Valley, where they have the recycling plant, is to keep that aquifer charged. And recycling water and put it back into the aquifer, see. Now, when it comes to South County, we've got a very different situation. Only 5 to 10% of our water is available locally. Okay, which is considerably different, and that's the green area. See, so that's so you got a very different situation in that situation, and consequently, that at least for the El Toro Water District, all of our water comes from elsewhere.
Okay,
we don't have any aquifer under us.
So does that mean, what the residents of Brea pay for water would be less than what we pay in this area, just because of that situation?
That can influence it. You know, I don't know Brea's operating costs or anything like this, but because whatever water they're taking from wherever they're getting it still has to be processed because it has to meet certain standards, and I don't know the quality of what they got originally, say.
But that's very interesting. That's a great map because it really shows the differences in a span of maybe just 10 miles.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so and so the planning that has to go in then has to recognize that situation. If we can move to slide 3.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll look at the objectives.
And so what are the objectives of that? And I was going to actually work from the slide itself.
Sure.
And and our objective is to start with an unbiased, factual analysis of all the projects that we have in hand, because all the local districts have given projects. Because we all kind of work to a degree a little bit independently, but we work in collaboration also. And what are the benefits that each agency is finding relative to their own situation? And then we have to develop. We've been working on, and they've been working on new planning scenarios. For example, Metropolitan is the Twin Tunnel project, which we've talked about, the Bay Delta area.
Right.
A massive investment, but when you're planning reliability, you have to take into account what are others going to do in the future that can have an impact on us, or help us, or create a problem for us, and so that's so that area is one of the things, and also taking a look at the climate models. What is what if the Earth is warming as people are saying it is, and I believe that we're seeing temperature changes. It's going to affect the amount of rainfall, the amount of snowfall. There's a lot of things that are going to be different. So we really have to take a look and analyze, and it's hard to say what it's going to be, but we really have to think about it to make sure that any decision that comes forward makes sense. And is within, and we're investing the money appropriately. Then we have to, one of the things that all of the agencies are looking at is there any supply gaps that we might have. And, in El Toro, we're pretty fortunate in that, the largest water reservoir in Orange County belongs to El Toro. Okay, it was built many years ago. It's actually it's in Mission Viejo.
But that's a great benefit.
It's a great benefit that we have that available to us. And then basically determining any emergency system gaps and things like that, And every water agency's looking at how long, if we had a pipeline break or something like this from the Colorado River or something like this, or the California, aqueduct coming down, if we had a massive earthquake, how long do we have the supply of water? That's critical. We need to have that understanding. See, and then finally is how effective what are the costs at each of the local agencies for the activities that they're already anticipating. So that we can set a priority on those things.
Now, what it takes to evaluate the existing water supply, and again, this kind of goes into what you have just been talking about. And you know, you look at the different, as you said, especially for South Orange County, you're looking at the Colorado River and different places where it comes in. And I think it goes through.
You got the Baker treatment
yeah,
plant,
the Baker,
we got the Deemer
yeah.
plant, we got a lot of different plants because particularly the water coming in from Colorado has a higher salinity than the water that's coming from through the California
yeah.
aqueduct. Say.
Right.
So those conditions have to be adjusted, and you know, that's really the chemistry and the process that goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In water.
Yeah, and you have to look at all that.
Yeah, and most people don't stop to think about it.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. So that's how you've got to look at every single part of that and
right.
how it flows in and what it needs.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so these are all the different questions that we basically are in the process of answering, as you know, independently and as a group.
Okay.
You know, we're posing all these questions. Met supplies from the state water project and the Colorado aqueduct. Each agency? What are our options?
Yeah.
We got to look at those based on our locality.
Right, right.
See, because as you saw from the first map, it depends on where you're located as to, as to the decisions you may be making.
Yeah,
as a board.
A great place if you ever get a chance to go it's at Diamond Valley Reservoir, and I've been up there before. And one half of it is, as far as they have kind of a museum there, goes through all of this, and it's very interesting. By the way, the other part of their museum there, that was a great fossil find up there.
Oh, really?
So you wouldn't believe all the different fossils that they found in that area, and it's fascinating. I mean, but you get 2 for 1.
Right. I haven't been to
but go
that,
up there.
I haven't
really
been to
neat.
that reservoir. I remember when it was being built back in the 90s. And that was built by Met.
Yeah.
One of the purposes, and even right now, it sits at 80% filled.
Yeah.
Is that that was there to ensure that we have emergency storage if we have a problem with the from water coming from Northern California or from the Colorado River.
Yeah.
We really depend upon have depended upon the investments made by Met.
So here are the next steps we're going to look at, and of course, part of this is going ahead in the current future. Just looking a year ahead, but you've got to look years ahead.
Well, when you talk about the California Water Fix, which is the Metropolitan Water District, that won't come online. It's about a $17 billion project.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not expected to be completed until 2035.
Right.
Well, so we're talking 17 years from now.
Yeah.
So all the work that we're doing is basically working all together to answer all the basic objectives and to really try to formulate a plan that is suitable for all of the individual agencies in the cities, makes sense from a financial standpoint, because we're all concerned with giving the best quality water at a rate that is affordable.
Right.
Okay, and is not a situation where we're taking money for no purpose. We really, the water agencies must tie what the cost of water to what it costs them to produce it.
And is this part of the reason why these projects, it doesn't matter whether it's this or a whole different kind of infrastructure, it takes years to do. Right. And a lot of times people go, well, why can't this be done in 3-4 years so we see a benefit very quickly?
Yeah, well, you've got the issues that get involved every time. Is you got the EIRs, the environmental impact reports you got to go through. Unfortunately, there are times when you end up with multiple lawsuits. Of people, different groups disagree. And the courts are where those decisions are made. Now, one of the things that I know that occurred recently, at least my understanding from the papers, is that President Trump signed a document that allows at least some of those decisions to be combined into one, not handled separately by the different agencies, and to kind of speed the process.
Right.
And which could be very helpful for us, I'd say. But I think the focus on looking out, you know, and making sure that, see, right now we're looking at El Toro. You know, we got best of, you know, at this point our determination is we got at least 60 days emergency supply.
Yeah.
Okay, which is good. Our goal is to see what would it take if we could get up to 6 months.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would be great because the forecast is how long is it going to take to repair the California aqueduct or the you know, or the water, the Colorado source.
Got to look ahead.
You got to look ahead.
Yeah.
Just like anything else.
All right, thank you very much, Catherine.
Okay.
Good to see you again.
Well, thank you very much,
and folks,
Ken.
people can go on the website, eltorowaterddistrict.com. You can find out a lot of different things there. If you ever get a chance to go up to Diamond Valley, you know, it's a little bit of a drive. It's out by Paris and those areas, but it's really kind of fun. It's great to go to.
Good.
All right, we'll be back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Thomas. Welcome to Sports Talk. Come join me here every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for sports highlights, tournament news, and interviews for Laguna Woods residents and around the world. Hey, maybe even Broadway. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Put it on your calendar. Thursday mornings, a great way to start your day with me and the Sports Talk way. Or even a triple's okay. I'll see you then.
I'm a strong believer that there's something for everyone out there. But some people never stop searching. I've looked long and hard through these parts, and I thank my lucky stars I stumbled across a special place, a unique place, where you never know what you'll find. The Trading Post, only on Channel 6.
When you have confidence in your retirement future, you can live the life you've always imagined. Because of planning, you now have time to reflect on the wonderful memories of your life. You and your spouse finally have the luxury of leisure time together. To spend fun times with your grandkids, sharing the joy of their excitement about life. Smiling at the thought of quality time with your children and of picking up the check. At last, you have time to breathe and rekindle the love of your life. Why? Because you imagined what could be. You planned for retirement. So today, you own your future.
Well, we got a couple good movies coming for you. Now, today we have a classic, Les Girls, and this came out in 1957. Gene Kelly is in this, Mitzi Gaynor, Kay Kendall, Tiana Elg, and this is all about a dancer pens a memoir about her time in a dance troupe that dances throughout Europe. And a very great movie as far as music goes. You have Cole Porter doing the music for this classic, which you know, of course, one of the great writers of all time, and great actors, obviously. Gene Kelly, a lot of dancing in this. Mitzi Gaynor was also known for her dancing. Good movie. It's a musical comedy, and I'm sure many of you have seen this before, but we're bringing it back to you today at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Then on Monday, and just in time for Halloween, we have Disney's Hocus Pocus, and this has become kind of like a cult classic. It came out in 1993, and after 3 centuries, 3 witch sisters are resurrected in Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night, and it's up to 2 teenagers and a young girl and an immortal cat to put an end to their reign of terror once and for all. Of course, Reign of Terror, this is a Disney movie, so it's definitely on the comedy side. But it's a great movie for Halloween. Bette Midler is in this. Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy is in this as well. Fun movie for everyone, really good family film. That'll be Monday, 2 and 6 o'clock, so tune in for that. Now, I want to tell you about the Festival of the Arts summer season, and why I'm telling you about this now is because there's an application deadline for all you artists out there. If you would like to get in on being at the Festival of the Arts, you need to turn in your application by Halloween, October 30th at 4 o'clock. Now, unlike the Sawdust, the Festival of the Arts allows artists from all over Orange County. As long as you have been in Orange County, I think it is the requirement for about a year, where Sawdust, you have to live in Laguna Beach. So if you are an artist, and we've got a lot here, please go to the website foapom.com/apply for more information. They'll tell you what you need, the application process. I think it's $50 per medium submitted. And who knows, maybe you will get in on the Festival of the Arts. Now, speaking of that, they are having the Pageant of the Monsters going on this weekend. They only do this every few years, usually every 5 years. A lot of fun. It will be tonight, Saturday, Sunday, and I believe the 31st as well. This is a great family event. They sort of combine the Pageant of the Masters with Halloween, and I think they've got like a couple Halloween mazes and food and all kinds of things. A great family event. I believe if you buy your tickets ahead of time, it's $15, otherwise it's $20, and then kids 12 and under, I think, are about $10. So it's really a good deal, and we're going down there tomorrow night. Looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. And we'll have good weather for that as well. As I said, we may get some of those offshore winds later on today. They haven't materialized so far. There was they were looking at it that we could have gotten them last night into today. So far, not so much. So maybe it's still in the forecast for tonight, though. And as we get into tomorrow, sunny and warm, as we move our way into Sunday, and particularly into next week, those cooling fog layer will come back and keeping us in the mid-70s as we get into next week. So perfect for Halloween. Great weather for that, and not too warm over the next couple of days. Around the state, just beautiful weather. Cooler on Sunday and partly cloudy in Southern California for most areas, but today and tomorrow throughout the state, you're going to pretty much sunny skies. So there you have it. Great, great weather. Coming up on Monday, we're going to get a report from Third Mutual, from Breastlink, and also Assemblyman Matthew Harper. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.